So remember how I said that I was hoping that I would eventually stumble across some kind of roboticizer voice alteration tool so that I didn't have to do it the manual way? Found it. Yeah, used it on the last episode. Worked out good. I don't know what anybody else thinks of it, but it sounded pretty good to me.
There you go.
The only thing is, though, to get maximum hilarity out of it, when we do the opening, it's got to be as monotone and as, like, not timid as possible. Because it sounds hilarious. We're just maintaining a steady pitch.
Right.
Even if you and I are on different pitches, as long as we maintain it while we're doing the thing, it sounds fucking awesome.
Cool.
Yeah.
You probably only got one virus?
No, not at all, because everything was done online.
That's what I mean.
Oh yeah, but no.
Uploaded, they
No,
did it,
no,
they
no.
downloaded
No.
an MP3.
No.
No, I'm sure there's nothing on it.
No.
Why would that be?
No.
Nothing. That doesn't happen. It's the internet.
It-
I know how to
I
use.
checked.
I know how to use computers.
I checked.
I wouldn't get a
I
virus.
checked. Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly. I know what I'm doing, God damn it.
I've had so many fucking viruses.
Hey, why is Windows acting weird?
Oh my god. So many.
Episode 23, which we've decided, let's do the thing of
Talkbots, Talkbots. This is Ryan Rich. No, it's not.
Beep. We queep. Dup.
That's going to be great.
Do.
23, year in review, 2022.
Yeah.
It should have been episode 22, year in review, 2022, but, whatever. This will probably...
If people don't love a clip show, I don't know what they'll love. Because
Right.
everybody loves a clip show.
Yeah,
No one ever skips those.
yeah. Except it's not clips, it's just us reminiscing about what we did or didn't like about 2022.
Don't tell me how to have a podcast.
Oh,
Carl.
sorry. Have you heard what's going on with gift card fraud now? Well, and I'm sure it's nothing
That's a
new.
pretty vague question, so I
Well,
don't,
no,
I don't know.
the news is finally talking about it because, it's only been a problem for probably since gift cards became a thing. But I guess the issue is that the secondary security measure built into gift cards, which is you got to scratch and sniff that second code in order to use it, only pertains to online purchases.
Oh, really?
You don't need to scratch that code to scan it at the till. So what people are doing is they're either getting a card, duplicating the barcode from it, and then putting a sticker with that code or a barcode onto retail cards that haven't sold yet.
Yeah.
And as soon as you get it and put money on it, they just start sucking that card dry before you get a chance to.
Yep.
And the other tact is they don't even bother with the sticker part. They just take a picture of the barcode and then sit back and wait. And then, do some shopping and, let's try this one. Oh, it's not active yet. Oh, let's try that. Oh, here we go. And the thing is, the minute you scan a barcode that's got any money on it, it'll immediately tell you what's left after you spent that money.
Yep.
So yeah, this podcast is going to be basically about what happened this year, and hopefully not try to tread too much on stuff we've already talked about. Did you make a list of stuff?
No,
Oh wow, you're just going to wing it. Wow, you got better memory than I do.
I don't think I do. I don't know.
Oh,
Whoa.
Feast your
look
eyes
at
on that.
I'm feasting.
I just gave Adam a hard copy. Well, a soft copy. It's a soft hard copy.
It's hard, but soft.
It's hard, but it's soft. Of my new book. I got a couple copies of it in case people wanted to buy, signed, numbered copies. So yeah, that's done. Thank God.
Is this my copy?
It can be. It can be. It can be anybody's copy at this point. It retails for $30 on Amazon. in that like, if you want a hard copy
Hard
that
soft
is
copy.
soft, yes. If you just want the Kindle version, it's only $10.
That's just soft.
Yeah, that's like the true soft
It's just
copy.
really soft.
That is really soft.
Right.
Except that you're watching it on your monitor, which is hard. So it's also a hard soft copy.
I don't know what happened this year. It was just an idea. You told me I had to come up with the idea,
I have
Karl.
a list, so I'll just
Oh,
mention
here
the
we-
things, and you can comment on them or go, well, that's bullshit.
I hope it's not like a new ointment or something because
A
you're
new
old.
ointment, yeah.
Oh, they found this new ointment for my flare-ups. Jeez.
Actually, this wasn't even on my list, but everybody has been talking about it ever since he did it. And it's like, this year and maybe the year before too have been like, when you read something on the news now, sometimes you actually have to wonder whether it's real
Yeah.
or whether you have accidentally stumbled across
Yeah.
The Onion
Yeah.
live.
Yep.
Because Trump,
Oh, man. You're going to talk about the NFTs?
the NFT, have you seen them?
Yes. They're phenomenal.
And you can't even pick which one you're getting.
Nope.
It's random.
And even better, they're all gone.
I know. They're completely sold out.
$45 million.
12 hours. They were
40
gone.
$44 million is what
So
he made.
just in case, you didn't think there were that many stupid people, oh yeah. But what I'm curious about is how many of the people that actually bought these things for $99 bought them because they're such a joke, so that they could actually go to their grandkids and say, not kidding,
Yeah.
he actually did this.
Our
Look, I
president
got
has
one of them."
lasers coming out of his eyes. Or fucking wearing a
Oh my
cowboy
God.
hat. It's unreal.
And
It's awesome.
it is awesome, and
It's
also
interesting. Yeah.
the characters have no basis in reality
No.
whatsoever.
No,
None of the
it's awesome.
things are anything he's actually done. He has never been an astronaut. He's never been a cowboy.
You know what I wonder if it is? He has to campaign for 2024.
So he needs money.
And you can't get a donation for $45 million.
No.
But he
you
just
can
got
sell
one.
NFTs.
He just got one for
Right.
$45 million.
Right.
Like, very interesting strategy if that's the case.
Yes.
I think it's genius.
Oh, it is.
Yeah, what a piece of shit. Yeah,
He's like the inappropriate uncle who just won't leave.
Right. Who has a chance in taking over the family.
Right.
Yep. Again.
He's decided that he could probably renovate your house for you on the cheap. So maybe can he stay in the basement for the next 3 months?
4 years.
It turns into 4 years. Have you heard about Chat GPT?
I don't think so.
Okay, so OpenAI have made a web page available called Chat GPT, and basically it's like Google, but it tries to deliver information to you in a conversational manner. So if you ask it a question, it tries to answer you like a human would,
Right.
as opposed to giving you links to things. And it's only able to answer based on what it's been taught so far about the world. And what's really cool about it is that if you ask it, something really, really technical, like how would one go about building a nuclear bomb, it'll just like start spelling it out for you
Right.
in pure English text. Or how would I code a program that does X, Y, and Z in this language, and it'll actually tell you if it knows
Right.
the answer to that question. Of course, the pundits are saying this is really interesting, but they're afraid of what people might actually try to do with it, considering what its capabilities are, and they might take it too seriously, that it's actually answering the question accurately, and it might not be.
Right.
So that I found that really interesting, and I'm thinking, okay, if it's that good on initial release, I can only imagine what this thing is going to be capable of doing in 2 or 3 years. the other thing that everybody seems to be talking about right now is the other AI app that is available to everybody to use, but you have to pay for it as a phone app, is Lensa AI. Have you heard about this?
No.
Lensa AI is an AI art photo interpretation and analysis app that, using AI, will take multiple pictures of you, hopefully in various angles and poses, and it will build a three-dimensional artistic looking avatar of you that under normal circumstances would have had to have been created by a professional artist.
Right.
And I guess people are just going gaga over what this thing can do.
Did you get it?
No, not yet, because I've been warned that it's too early to tell whether there are any security implications over using this app yet. So I'm just kind of backing off from it until I know for sure that it's not, selling the farm out from under me by using it. Is it scraping everything that I've got stored on my phone and
No,
not
probably
telling me
it's
about
just
it?
saving your face.
But is it, right?
Yeah.
And
No, but
that's,
even if, but that's enough. All it has to do
yeah,
is save
true
your face,
enough, right?
But,
And what's it
that's what
doing with
Facebook
that
does.
imagery after the fact? Is it selling it to third parties, or is it just dumping it after the product is created?
Right.
Until I know the answer to that question, I'm not using it. I'm not buying it. But people are totally impressed with what it can do. Yeah, and again, only possible thanks to the power of AI, which is cool. I think we're going to be talking a lot about AI in the next 5 years.
Oh,
I don't know
sure.
whether it'll be good or bad, but
It'll be both.
it'll
be
be
like all things.
probably.
It's like when you speak generally of the internet, you speak of the good and the bad. It'll be
Yeah.
the same thing. The AI is going to change our lives in good ways and bad ways.
Yep. The war in Ukraine was probably the biggest thing that happened in the world this year. We never talked about it. I don't know what there is to say about
It's
it
a fucking
except
bummer,
that it's
dude.
a fucking gong show.
Yeah, I don't mean to just dismiss it.
Oh
but
no! I mean,
it's war.
It is
what are you
what
gonna talk
it
about?
is.
It's fucking
yeah,
gnarly.
I know.
Yeah, people are exploding.
Yep. Yep.
Drones are amazing.
Who knew?
Amazing.
Yep.
They've
Who
changed
knew?
the face.
Of war.
I guess
Absolutely.
to talk about it more, there's really interesting technological things that are in this war that we haven't seen in others.
No.
Like drones.
Yes.
Or every soldier's got a fucking GoPro on his helmet.
Right.
Like, it's wild. The coverage
Yes.
of
Yeah.
real warfare is
Like we've never seen before.
unreal.
Yeah.
It's wild.
Yeah.
Like, I've seen some wild shit, and you're just like, there is no way you would have ever, like, you would have seen sometimes, and people
Right.
would have just been,
Right.
just astonished. Every day, all day long, it
Mm-hmm.
just gets, as propaganda, just dropped onto Reddit every day, just
Mm-hmm.
like, watch these people get exploded.
Yeah.
Oh, yep, there they go.
Yeah.
Wow. Drones dropping grenades and shit.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah.
And it's a weird thing to have noticed from the beginning of the war's footage to now, is that watching it initially, and this is fucking grim, their aim was really bad at the beginning.
Yeah, it was
But
like
now,
watching stormtroopers.
now I'm watching them dropping grenades in holes that are 2 feet,
Right.
like,
They're getting really good at it.
like really, really good at
Yeah.
it. It's wild to watch.
Yeah.
And you think that it's like really close, but that's the zoom in shot, and then they pull out, and they're like 150 feet, 200 feet in the air.
Mm-hmm.
Like, whoa, nutso.
Yeah.
Kamikaze drones?
Yep.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
It's super effective.
Yeah.
Like, super effective.
Yeah.
You just watch it go in, and boop, there goes that dude. And you
Yeah.
just see 3 guys run.
I haven't actually seen those videos. Are we talking about Russians using that on Ukrainians, or the other way around?
The other way around. Yeah. There's a few Russian things, but being the West, the propaganda machine is basically go Ukraine.
Yes.
So that's the videos that we
Oh,
watch.
of course, yeah.
Yeah, every once in a while. Every once in a while there'll be a Russian one, and it'll just get downvoted to hell, and it'll just disappear.
Yeah.
It just does give you the sense that Ukraine's really mopping up. Which is interesting, because they may or may not be, I don't know. I have no real understanding on how it's going one way or the other, but it's interesting to see the propaganda work.
Yeah, based on the professional analyses that I tune into occasionally to see just what's going on, the reason the Russians have not won this war already, like they thought they would in like week 2 or week 3,
Yep.
is because they're still mired in World War II era Soviet battle doctrine.
Right.
And worse, the commanders in the field don't actually have autonomy to do what they think they need to do to win what their mission is. They're constantly being told what to do from Moscow,
I see.
whether Moscow knows what they're doing or not. It's almost like Hitler all over again. You know, when the Battle of the Bulge happened in World War II, the people on the ground knew it was over, but Hitler was like, no, you must make it to that river at all costs. So they're like, oh, okay. And, you know.
It's going to cost a lot.
And it did.
It sure
and
did.
they ended up, you know.
Yeah, it's interesting to see this and the Russian troops, because it's so much like what happened in World War II.
Yeah.
There's a lot of troops,
Yeah.
but not all of them are armed.
Nope.
They don't have helmets. They don't have food.
Training.
It's the winter.
Direction.
Like, what the...
They don't even know, in many cases, why they're fighting.
Nope. But they are...
Ukrainians saying the Russians would arrive in town, take over, and go, "We're the Nazis."
Right.
We
Well,
were,
yeah,
we were
that's-
told we were here to kill Nazis.
Yep.
Where the fuck are they? Snow. I loved watching the Buffalo snowstorm, and that happened a couple weekends ago. 66 inches or 167 centimeters of snow in one weekend.
What did you call it? A buffalo? What?
In Buffalo, New York.
Oh, yeah. I had no idea what you're talking about.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Nah.
It was a huge thing.
Really?
And, you know, like, huge deal, too, because, sure, they get a lot of snow out there, but typically
Not that much.
not in November,
Right.
but there it was.
Wow.
And it was brutal, and it took days to get out of it. And all I could do while it was happening, besides laugh my ass off because it's not happening here, was imagine
Right.
if we ever got 167 centimeters of snow in Calgary in one weekend.
What's that, like
The
4.5
world
feet?
would end. Yeah, like seriously, 66 inches. That's almost 5 feet of snow.
That's wild.
No, actually, it's almost 6
6
feet of
feet.
snow. it is 5 feet of snow in 48 hours.
How many people died?
I don't know. I think a
would
dozen or
think-
so. I think a dozen or so.
Something like that is definitely going to kill people.
And you know, it's mostly people that are actually trying to shovel the shit
Oh, yeah.
because
Heart attacks
it's
and
not
shit like
it's
that.
not, you know, light fluffy snow.
No,
it's
it's
that
fucking
heavy
disaster
shit.
snow.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It was funny to watch cars that had finally dug themselves out of their snow drifts in
Right.
their driveways.
Yeah.
But for fun, they decided to leave all the snow that had been on top of their car on.
Right.
So these cars looked like they had like meringue on top.
Yeah. Big hats.
Big hats.
Yeah.
Big snow hats on top of these cars.
Man, that's crazy.
Oh, and I just,
Yeah,
you know,
no
I just
idea.
think, how would they react to that here? Because I remember, like, I don't think it was last winter. I think it was the winter before. We had a whole bunch of snow in a very short period of time. And the snow, it wasn't that deep. It was like 1.5 feet, maybe 2 feet. But because nobody plows anywhere in this city aside from a major route, people just weren't getting anywhere. Especially if they drove a sedan. They were screwed.
Yeah.
They were stuck where they were. And if they were stupid enough to try to go anywhere, they would just end up blocking the road permanently.
Right. Yeah.
It was insane.
And snow that deep is super dangerous for low cars and stuff.
It
because
is.
Because it's cold out, so you leave your car on,
Yep,
and then you die.
that's right.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, and then of course we had the protest. The big protests, the big one in Ottawa,
Mm-hmm.
and then at the various border crossings.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if we ever talked about that.
I don't know if we spoke about it specifically, but generally we did.
Yeah.
I think probably because we're just on the same page. It wasn't really much of a discussion other
No.
than idiots.
Yeah.
Yeah. Every time you see a Canadian flag now, you're just like, dick. I don't know. It just seemed so, like, for the people in Ottawa, that was a fucking nightmare. And it just seemed just like a spectacle. Like, because it didn't seem that serious. And there was some shit that they did which was shitty.
Yeah.
But it's not like they, like, tried to overthrow the government.
No.
They were just dicks.
Well, not only were they dicks,
Maybe, like,
but they couldn't
maximum
make up their
dicks.
mind what they were being dicks about. Like they went there under the pretense of, well, we want the restrictions to be taken away. Well, so, like, I don't know if you noticed, but most of them are gone now. Yeah, but now we're not leaving until Justin leaves
Yeah.
the Prime Minister's office. And it's like, okay, so you understand we have elections in this country. You don't depose a leader because you don't like them. You vote them out at the next election. Well, we're not leaving then till, because we got to have some reason to be here. And they're doing it again. They're planning a reunion in February.
Well, of course.
So all I'm hoping for is that it's like minus 45. Hope you don't freeze to death.
I wonder if it'll be dealt with any differently. Because was there huge security concerns? Like, there would be the obvious security concerns when you make some veiled threat at the head of state.
Right.
Things get gnarly.
Yeah.
But it's not like it was...
But they were too busy building hot tubs and barbecues and shit. So
Right.
it's like,
They were tailgating.
Yeah.
Right? I'm saying that totally uninformed.
Right.
There was probably some serious fucking shit that went down, and I'm just glazing over it.
Well, the people
Like,
who lived closest to the action were kind of terrorized by the whole thing.
They
Because
absolutely
didn't
were. That's
feel safe going out of their own
right.
homes.
That's the first thing I said is that, like, the people of Ottawa, it was a fucking nightmare.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah.
But it's not like the insurrection in the States. It
No.
wasn't that.
No.
Right? It was just a bunch of...
Yeah, we're going to show
was
you
different.
that we're unhappy and we're not leaving until you do something about it.
Which is fine, but they were just... Because I have nothing against protesting like that.
Right.
Like, it's a fabulous right to have.
Yeah.
But it just seemed...
Don't abuse it and make yourselves look like douchebags.
Yeah, it's so weird when that happened, because I didn't know how to feel. Because, yeah, I don't agree with them. And that's fine.
Mhm.
It's like they're protesting.
They have the right to protest
Yeah.
whatever they believe in.
And you think that they're dicks because they're protesting things that you don't like.
No.
No,
I think
no,
they're
I'm
dicks
speaking generally.
Because they're inconveniencing other people and disrespecting things in the process.
Right. I didn't agree. They're protesting against something that I do agree with. Of course I think that they're stupid.
Yeah.
We all do who are on this side of it.
And if
But
I'm
was
giving
it-
a non-biased analysis of it, like I'm trying to be as completely non-biased as possible, I have to admit that every time you have any kind of a protest, even where the actual protesters are saints and are demonstrating with full respect toward the people who live there and work there, it is always going to attract hooligans who are going to ruin it for everybody.
Of course. Right. That's
Every
just
time.
Every single time.
And
Or
especially,
did it, or did they ruin it?
well, I don't, yeah.
I don't think
know.
they did.
I don't know.
You just said they're having a reunion, like they're going to go back.
Yeah.
They didn't ruin shit.
Well, you know what's funny? They said the reason they want to have the reunion is not because they didn't ever get what they wanted. They actually want to go back to show that they can protest and be civil about it. And what's really ironic about that is it won't.
Right.
because of the exact same thing we just
Absolutely.
said 30 seconds ago, which
Yeah.
is the minute the hooligans hear that they're coming back, they're going to go, here we go.
Yeah.
Where's
Yeah.
my gas can?
Yeah. Fuck the liberals.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Let's ruin it for everybody now.
Yeah, it's really interesting.
I need a new stereo.
Yeah. Because I absolutely, totally disagree with what they were protesting about.
Yes. I think many people do.
Yeah, and obviously lots of people don't.
Right.
Like lots of people were on their side.
Oh,
and,
totally.
And that's okay. That's the way a democracy should work.
That's right.
And that's okay.
Sooner or later, everybody gets their say
Right.
at the ballot box.
And
this is just a
I think it's just
demonstration
important to
of-
remember that just a couple bad eggs. The dude who pissed on the war memorial. That wasn't all of them. So
No.
you can't say they.
Right.
You have to say he.
Yeah.
And it's easy to say they.
Right.
Right? And it's like they brought a Nazi flag. No.
No.
Some cunt
Someone
did.
did. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some awful human being did.
Right.
That doesn't speak for everybody.
No.
It'll be interesting to see what the government does.
Yeah.
Will they put up with it? Because they put up with it. There wasn't that big of enforcement. There was, like... Eventually the cops started, like, throwing, like, really annoying citations at people.
Mm-hmm.
For, like, noise and shit like that.
Yeah.
Right? Which, I get. Like, it's terrorizing neighborhoods. Like,
Mhm.
because they're sitting there beeping their horns.
Yeah.
That's just a dick thing to do.
Yeah.
And accomplishes nothing but makes enemies.
Right.
But assholes feed on that negative
Right.
reinforcement.
Yeah.
But will the Canadian government be like, not this time? So, what did invoking the Emergency Act accomplish?
It gave the police,
Ottawa police? Or
all of the police
Okay.
who were there to get rid of the protesters, it gave them the power and the authority to do the things they were afraid to do.
Right.
It's like you are now doing an illegal thing. Until that act was invoked, you were enjoying your freedoms. Well, now you are no longer free to do that because you've overextended yourself to the point where you've inconvenienced everybody, and that's it, you're done by order of the federal government. So get the fuck out or we will remove you physically because now we have the right to do that. And, as soon as that became obvious that that's what was going down, they either were forcefully removed or they saw that, there was no staying anymore. It was
Right.
over.
Picnic
And they
was
just
over.
left. Just like, what went down at the Coots border when
Right.
the RCMP finally found out that there was a truck filled with stuff that was going to be used against them
Right.
and that it was imminent.
Right.
They took it down, and that's when the protesters realized, well, our rightful, peaceful protest has now been completely blackballed
But it's different. But
by
the situation was
preparations
different.
of this group of people.
Right. So, but those situations aren't comparable because the one at Coots actually was a direct possible threat to other human beings.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
But the one in
But
Ottawa
only a
was
small group of people were
Right.
a direct threat
But
to
that's
human beings.
all it takes, right?
Exactly.
And then because
In Ottawa,
at that
there was
point
no
the art
proof that there were any people that were up
right,
to that.
and that's why they're very different.
Right.
It was inconvenient in Ottawa,
Very.
where Coots was dangerous.
It became dangerous,
right.
yes.
Yeah. So they're not comparable.
The hooligans didn't show up to pee on statues. They showed up to
Kill people.
take down the police.
Yeah. To block a international border and take down the police.
Yep.
Yeah, that's very different than.
My comment about 2022 with regards to Elon Musk was, how there's this sort of don't meet your heroes because you'll find out that they're dicks.
You know.
Well, I didn't even need to meet this guy to
Right.
find it out.
Right.
And at one time, he was one of my heroes
Right.
because of what he represented and what he was accomplishing. And now, I'm embarrassed
Right.
to have ever even, said that I admired the guy, because now I see just what a
Goof.
absolute goofball he is. He's
Yeah,
just
wild.
like he's just. Does he even realize how much he's contradicting his own
No, I don't
reason
think
for doing things?
narcissists don't do that.
No, I guess not,
No,
right?
there's a true narcissist, which is what he is.
Yeah.
Their brains are broken.
Right.
Like, they don't think the same way. Like, they're just so self-absorbed.
Right.
They do things to protect themselves. What's the saying? Like, cut off your nose
To spite
But
your
your
face.
face.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what they do.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're wild creatures.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He's just doing everything he can to not look like an idiot.
Right.
Idiot. Paradoxically, he looks like a fucking idiot.
Right.
So, who knows? I'm enjoying it. Fuck him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hope he loses all his money and all his friends and his wife, and his kids don't like him, and it's great.
There's a term that a lady at work uses to describe men like him, and it's become my new favorite adjective. Douche nozzle.
He is a douche nozzle. He is.
On the arts side of things, this year, I was totally excited to see The Kids in the Hall come back.
Yeah.
Did you watch it?
Not yet.
Oh,
Not yet.
I was afraid. I was worried
Right.
because they kind of broke the ground
Oh, yeah.
for doing like I remember.
Wild.
Do
sketch
you
comedy.
remember when you discovered Kids in the Hall for the first time? I do.
Sorta. Yeah.
I remember tuning through the channels and stopping at what I didn't realize was CBC
Right.
in the middle of a Kids in the Hall sketch.
Right.
What is this?
Right.
And then I'm looking at the channel and I'm like, whoa, wait, this is CBC? Has there been a coup in the head office? Like, what is going on? I just was not prepared for that. And I was just like, wow, I think we have turned a corner, Canada.
Oh boy, did we.
We are about to really push the envelope here and set a whole new standard for what is acceptable on comedy TV. Like SCTV kind of did it a little bit,
Oh, sure they did.
but
But
now we were really going,
oh, it's pushed.
into
you
into
watch it
dark
now
waters.
and you're still like,
and you're still cringing. Yeah, exactly. And so when they said they were reviving on Amazon, I was just like, I don't know. I'm a little nervous, but okay, let's do this. And it was actually just as cringeworthy
bet you
as
it was
it was
awesome.
in the beginning. Yeah,
bet you it was fabulous.
It was fabulous.
fuck, I forget about it.
I actually saw some art this year that I knew it was going to be good because I knew who was performing it. And I've always been a fan of Rebecca Northern ever since she was in Loose Moose and then went out on her own and did the Blind Date show.
Yeah.
I told you all about that.
Yeah.
It seems like she can't produce bad content on stage. And so when I found out that they were doing Goblin Macbeth, I was like, okay, I don't know how Shakespeare-y this is going to be. Little did I know it was going to be pure Shakespeare-y, but with a twist.
Right.
Performed by goblins who stumble across the works of Shakespeare and are enthralled by it and just have to perform it for you. It was just so good.
That's fun.
I've never seen anything like it. And, I basically said in commentary about the play, if you're going to learn what Shakespeare is all about, this is how you do it.
Right.
Because it's fucking hilarious. But it's still true to the art form. But they fucked around.
Yep. I
You know?
gotcha. Yep. Yeah, the perfect word for it is the common word now. It's meta for sure.
Yeah, it was totally meta.
Yeah.
And it just worked.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Yeah,
Mode.
that was something. Even though I can't stand Elon Musk now, I still do respect the cars that he made. And I guess full self-driving was now made available to anybody that wanted it. as long as you bought the hardware upgrade for it when you first bought the car.
Oh yeah.
So, yeah, and it's pretty impressive software, I have to say. I've watched YouTube videos of people that actually were doing the beta testing on it, and I could not understand how the cars were avoiding the hazards that they were being presented with in real time. It just blew my mind.
Cool.
Is it perfect? No, it never will be for many years, because it's just impossible to be able to account for everything that could happen. But I was quite impressed with what it could handle. And regardless of what you may or may not have heard about the accidents that have happened, it's usually been because of, again, douche nozzles who are pretending like the car can actually drive itself and just not paying attention anymore to what the car's doing. You can't do that. You can sit back and watch, but you have to watch so that you can be ready to take over.
They also got a full port of Steam to work on Tesla. It was released.
They got a what?
Steam
Yeah.
can now be installed in your Tesla. Fully supported.
Really?
Yeah. Really? Yeah.
Okay.
Full hardware support.
Wow.
Yep.
Crazy. This year, California made history with regards to clean energy. For the first time ever, they made as much electricity as the state needed.
Really?
They didn't burn an ounce of fossil fuel to do it.
Really?
It was all renewable energy. They have that much capacity. 103% of the grid's demand was being produced at a moment in time on the 8th of May of this year by completely renewable energy. Solar, wind, bio, geo, hydro.
Some dude on an exercise bike.
Yeah, gerbils in wheels. I had no idea. And what's interesting about that is, as green as California's grid is, Texas is about to surpass them, if they haven't already. Texas is already the top U.S. wind power producer and is on pace to become the #1 solar power in a few years.
Really?
Yep. Texas,
Well,
of
yeah.
all places.
I think it's just because they have the space.
Well, and the money.
Right.
As I'm sure you probably know, I have really been a vocal lobbyist on behalf of just the the insanity of the growing gap between the rich and the poor in our society,
Right.
and the rise of homelessness and income inequality and gender inequality and race inequality. And I love hearing the excuses that people use on why things like universal income and living wage can't be accomplished.
Mm-hmm.
Because, the fearmongers would have you believe that, oh, if we started paying like McDonald's workers $25 an hour or $20 an hour, burgers would cost $10. Is that what you want? Which is total horse shit. Because A, they've been paying people like that in Europe for years, and they're not paying $10 for their burger. Dick's Drive-In, a family-owned burger joint in Seattle, finally got tired of not being able to hire anybody and keep them long enough after training. So they said, right, from now on, $18 an hour to start, $20 once you hit the end of probation, and we'll go from there. Plus benefits. Guess how much a cheeseburger costs at Dick's Drive-In?
$44.
$2.75.
No way, Carl.
$2.75. So that whole fucking, we can't pay people what they're worth because we won't be able to sell our products affordably anymore. Total BS.
Of course.
And considering the fact that almost 60%, this is a real statistic that I did not pull out of my ass. Almost 60% of all inflationary price increases this year have gone directly to supply chain increases? Nope. Labor increases? Pay increases? Nope. Profit. So when the grocery store tells you, oh, gee, if only we could afford to freeze all the prices on everything. Yeah, you can't.
They got a taste of
You
what it was like
totally
to
can.
be the most important thing in the world for 2
During
years.
COVID. Yeah,
So
totally.
they're like, fuck it, we're going to keep doing it.
And you know, I thought they were actually going to do the right thing, and after they started paying their workers bonus pay because of how hard they were working, that they would let them keep that pay. What was I thinking?
Not a chance.
Not a chance. The last payphone in New York City is finally gone this year.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I read this the other day, and I didn't get really deep into it for whatever reason. I'm just distracted probably by a 4-year-old.
Okay.
But a fusion experiment generated excess power this week.
Yes,
Crazy.
I know.
Yeah.
Now,
crazy.
what's unfortunate about that is that, you know, the people that are most excited about this, who don't actually know what that means, but are hopeful that it'll solve some problems for us, we're not going to see the results of that success in the real world for a few years.
Oh, yeah.
Probably a couple decades.
Right.
But if that was actually something that they could keep
Scale.
duplicating and scale, holy shit, man! It means our energy needs are solved.
They are solved. They would be.
Yeah,
If this is a real thing.
like you know,
Because it's all about scale, because the excess energy was the equivalent of 2 Mars bars. It's just they don't know if they can scale it.
right?
Well,
But if they
simply because they don't
once
have the
they do,
means
because
to
you
scale
know
it.
they will eventually.
Well, they have to. Yeah.
They know they will.
Once this
eventually,
door's
once
open.
they figure it out.
You can't. Yeah,
And then
you
that's
can't
it.
put this toothpaste back in the
Nope.
tube, man.
Nope,
This is a big deal.
it is a huge deal. Guess what Apple stopped selling this year? Finally.
Cocaine.
No.
Oh, not yet.
Can you buy cocaine from Apple?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's how they did it. Phones aren't that great. What is?
iPods.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know you could
The
still buy
last batch of iPods sold this year.
one. Oh, wow.
They stopped making them last year,
Yeah.
and they still had a few. And then word got out, and well, that was it for those.
Yeah, I bet. I bet they disappeared
It
real quick.
sold like so fast as soon as everybody realized they weren't making them anymore. And by the way, folks, in case you haven't seen an iPod since they had the little
Dial.
dial thingy,
Yeah.
they look like iPhones.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, they are.
They are just iPhones without radios in them, is what they are.
Because that's all they need
Like
to be.
it's not like an iPod is like a basically
14.
an iPhone 14 or whatever. It was more like an iPhone 4 or 6.
Right, like the one I got in my pocket. Don't fucking laugh.
It's okay. My wife has a 6.
Yeah, there we go. Oh,
Anyway.
6 hasn't gone EOL yet.
No?
No. Nah, 23 I think is when it does.
Oh yeah. Okay.
I think
So I guess I'll be buying her a new phone for Christmas next year,
Yep.
even whether she wants one or not.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. What about you? You
I'm
just steal one off some homeless guy?
yeah, because they got nicer phones than I do. Fuckers. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how it works because I want to phone my carrier, and because the days of getting a free phone from your carrier are gone because these phones now cost $1,400.
Well, I mean, they appear to be almost free,
Right.
but it's because they're just basically it's like, what do you call it? What was that old thing we used to do in stores? You keep giving us money and eventually
Layaway?
Yeah, layaway. It's
yeah,
like
no, it is.
it's like layaway on your
It's
phone.
not like it is.
And
it
then it's
absolutely
like,
is.
enjoy your phone because
Yeah. But I think there's still I don't know if they will just do that. I don't know if I can just go and buy a phone through them and they'll just charge me, I don't know, $30 a month until it's paid off. Or if I have to...
Oh no, they'll build it into the cost of the plan.
Right. Do I have to get a new plan to accommodate
Yes.
That's the
Yes,
thing,
you
right?
do.
That's the jam.
Yes, you do.
So,
But I heard rumors that Now there's a new kind of plan that they're planning. They're going to make it so that for the people who think the plans to get a phone outright and get to keep it for as long as you want to is too expensive, they're going to be building plans that are essentially a lease.
Yeah, I figured that was coming.
Once you're at the end of the term of the plan, if you want to keep the phone, you got to pay more cash. And if you don't, you turn the phone back in and renegotiate your plan for another phone.
I don't know how that's going to work out for
Well,
them.
for people who keep wanting a new phone every 2 years, it's perfect.
Yeah, no, I'm just
Because
taking it
they
from
just,
the carrier's
"Here's
perspective
my
and
phone."
reselling 2-year-old phones.
Oh, that's not going to be a problem.
You don't think?
Have you been on Amazon? There's fucking used phones coming out your ass. And they're
But
selling
that's
for
kinda
good money, too.
But that's kind of my point. Is the
They're
market's
selling
kind
for
of
good money.
saturated?
I don't know.
Maybe it's not.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I mean, it wouldn't be that saturated for them because they could undercut everybody due to the fact that
Volume,
you've
yeah.
already paid for the fucking full price of the phone.
And yeah,
They're just not telling you that you have.
right. Yeah.
They're making money as they give you the phone and as they take it away. So it's win-win.
Yeah.
It's like a car lease. Oh, really? They only pay us $250 a month. In 2 years, when you don't, when you're more interested in trying out a different car, you can have one. But you have to keep paying us the money.
Yeah.
Oh, did we say $250?
Yeah.
Now it's $350. And meanwhile, no, you can't have the car. The term is over. Give it back. Oh, you drove too much. That's going to cost extra. Can you imagine if they did that on phone leases?
Yeah, man. You use the radio too much.
Too many apps on this phone,
You
dude.
scrolled way too much. You scrolled way too
Oh my
much.
God. There's earwax in this speaker. That's going to cost you.
So I don't know what I'm going to do about a phone. We both need one. Desperately. You know?
Oh, our internet went down Sunday.
Really?
Sunday night. Yeah,
Really?
for 3 hours.
Wow.
I didn't know what to do. I was like a lost soul.
That's so wild, isn't it? It's so weird.
There was nothing to do. I couldn't even, like I was thinking, oh fuck, I'll just watch net. Oh fuck, I can't do that either.
Yeah, that's
What the fuck am I gonna do?
so crazy. Oh my god.
There was nothing to do. Like
God,
normally I'll
that's
watch
what we should do.
YouTube or blog something or check Facebook or whatever. I mean, I had to basically get out my phone and start burning up fucking, data bytes on my phone plan because there was just no way
That's so weird.
that I
isn't
could
it?
just sit there and not use the internet.
That's what we gotta do. That's what we gotta do. We gotta
What?
do that one day a week. Is just fucking turn it off.
Are
And
you
just like,
insane?
what are you gonna do?
There's no way.
Yeah, man. I know. I get it. I get it. I remember having that feeling too. Like when the internet's gone out and you're just like, wait, I exist.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
wait, there's things.
I don't know what people are doing right now. And no one knows what I'm doing either. It's chaos.
3-hour outage. Whew.
I'm, the ridiculous thing in Canada that happened this year that I'm still, beside myself about. Tim Hortons actually got away with settling a class action lawsuit regarding their app stealing people's data
Oh, really?
by offering them a coffee and a donut.
It fucking worked. Good for them.
And they got away with it.
Well.
That was the payoff. Oops, sorry. We didn't mean to do that illegally. Have a coffee and a donut on us. And now everything's back to normal. It's like nothing ever happened.
Wild.
I find it weird that we're excited that we sent a spaceship into orbit around the moon in 2022 with nobody on it. We've already been there. We got to go through the whole practice run again? And you know what the next thing is going to be?
What?
The next thing is we're going to send the spaceship around the moon again, not landing still, with people in it this time. So it'll just be like, wave at the moon as we go by. We might get to land on it next time.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, with
Well, it's
all
because
the
they've never
technolo-
done it.
There's 6 fucking robots on Mars already.
I know.
What is the holdup here?
No Americans have been on the moon, man. It's scary first time. Like, what the fuck else could explain it? Like, it is ludicrous.
It is ludicrous.
Like, you did it how many years ago?
Get it?
What are you fucking dilly-dallying for?
Yeah.
Get on there. Set up a tent.
There's no mystery anymore.
Yeah.
We've
Have you
done
been
it.
to that new grocery store? Yeah, the one that's been there for 3 years? Yeah. I have been there.
I just,
Well, yeah.
I don't get it.
It's weird.
I don't get it. Like, everybody's just so excited about it, and I'm just going, when are we flying to Mars with people? When are we setting up the base on Mars? So that we know once and for all if that statue that looks like a human is actually a statue.
Yeah. Well, the Chinese invented that new fucking fuel that'll get us there in like fucking 15 minutes or
Oh,
some
yeah.
shit. Like 3 months or something.
Oh, yeah.
Like, nuts.
Wow.
So, I don't know the details of it because
Okay. I haven't heard about this.
it's just a new type of fuel that is very fast.
I wouldn't put it past them.
Pushes you real fast go.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, all their money is... They got a lot of money in it. They're building their own goddamn space station.
Oh, they'll get there
Fuck
first.
you guys.
There's
Oh.
no doubt in my mind.
Oh, yeah.
Speaking of Americans,
Yeah.
more Americans smoke marijuana than cigarettes for the first time in its history. I
Wow.
actually find it fascinating that cigarette smoking has diminished that much. It's almost a non-thing now.
Yeah, I guess I'm not astonished by it. Like, the evidence is so overwhelming.
Oh, sure.
Right? So it's not...
But there are still kids that, for the longest time, thought it was still cool to take it up. And I'm
Well,
noticing
it is
now...
cool to take it up.
But
because
I'm
it's
noticing
in-
now that more and more kids are just realizing how dumb it is.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just not a thing anymore.
No.
There's something else
They're
that's
looking
cool now.
upon it now with negative
Yeah.
imagery as opposed to
Yeah.
any kind of positive...
Yeah, it's not rebellious. It's just weird and
no,
gross.
it's just stupid now.
Yeah, it's just gross.
Yeah.
I didn't have... Like, the smoke pit wasn't my jam. I guess I just wasn't cool enough or something. But it just was never my thing.
Yeah.
But I wonder what the new smoke pit is now. Probably anal sex or something.
Who knows?
Hopefully. It's better for you.
I wouldn't know, but yeah, who knows? It could be. I remember... Remember when Aunt Jemima, they said they had to rebrand because, you know, Aunt Jemima was just too
Fucking racist?
out there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
I do remember that.
So, you know, we knew it was coming.
Yeah.
And what was really funny and kind of embarrassing is that all of a sudden I saw all this new Pearl Milling Company pancake boxes show up on store shelves.
Yep.
And I thought, what the hell is this?
You
But
didn't quite realize.
no, I didn't quite realize. And part of the reason why I never put 2 and 2 together is because it happened to change at exactly the same time that the supply chain issues during COVID got to their peak, where, you know, stores wouldn't have peanut butter for a month because they couldn't get it
Right.
or whatever. So I just thought, oh, no one's making Aunt Jemima anymore.
Right.
But so what the hell is this Pearl Milling Company bullshit? And we never put 2 and 2 together. And I even said to Darlene, who's usually on top of this stuff, I said, do you want me to just get the Pearl Milling Company pancake? And she goes, no, I don't want no fucking,
Off-brand
off-brand
bullshit.
fucking bullshit in our house.
Yep.
It's Aunt Jemima, or forget about it.
Right.
And then only to find out like a week or 2 or 5 later that it's the same goddamn stuff.
Yeah, it's exactly
This
the
is
same.
the new rebrand.
Yeah. Yeah, I had the same situation,
Oh.
but it clicked in my head immediately.
Immediately, right.
Because she wasn't there.
Right.
Right.
She was gone. So.
She was gone. I'm like, oh, okay. Right. Okay.
But see, for a while in the Safeway that we normally shop at, they were both there at the same time for a while.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah.
Oh, as you get rid of
they
old
hadn't,
stock.
Yeah, they hadn't pulled the old stock out.
Man, you should have bought it. Just like the iPod,
Right? It's
Had a
like
bunch of
it's like an
racist
edible
syrup.
NFT.
dude. Racist syrup in your cupboard forever. Look what I got!
Look what I got.
Jesus
It's
Christ.
a non-fungible
Jesus.
pancake token.
Oh my God. Grandpa Carl, you're a racist. You got a fucking mammy syrup for you piece of shit.
That's not butter flavor. Oh, here's something that happened this year that I really took offense to. Partly because it was a situation that, had Darlene still been working, would have actually affected her. The Alberta Health Service is asking pharmacy technicians to take an 11% salary rollback as their opening offer for their new contract. And everybody's going, what? Who would actually agree to that? Like, I guess
It's a
that's
hell of a place to start.
I guess that's the starting point to get to everybody agree on nothing.
Yeah.
Like,
you want to offend
holy
the other side of the
shit,
table?
man. Like, what a bunch of assholes. Anyway, yeah. So that's most of what was on my list. Oh, the 5 parrots who wouldn't stop swearing at visitors. So they had there's this bird sanctuary in the UK. And it's nothing but rescue birds.
Mm-hmm.
And they'd rescued these 5 parrots together. And, set them up and put them out where the visitors could interact with them. And one of them had learned to swear before they got the parrots. And the parrot taught the other 4 parrot friends how to swear.
Perfect.
And of course, the reason they went for it is because they saw the reactions they were getting from the people. And it was like, whoa, this is working.
Yeah.
What'd you say, fuckface? Right. And it was just, they wouldn't stop. They would not fucking stop. They had to pull the parrots and hide them away. Because it was just getting out of control.
That's awesome.
I thought, oh man. Oh, some bar needs to buy those parrots and just put them on permanent display.
Give them a podcast.
Jesus. Yeah, no shit. Give those parrots a podcast and just let them go nuts. Cryptocurrency. Yeah, it was a fun year for cryptocurrency.
Hello, bye.
Yeah. Hope you didn't have any money in it.
No. Because that fucking lady took it all and disappeared.
Oh my God. 69 grand at its peak this year. It went below 20. It's at 24 now, but I don't think it's gonna ever see where it was at before.
And nor should it.
No.
Like
No.
it
I think
will
we have
stabilize.
finally learned that it's not everything that everybody thought it was gonna be. Yeah.
NFTs was a bigger one for this year. Crypto's been a bit of a Yahoo thing for the last couple years. But
Yeah.
it seems like NFTs was the thing for this year.
Yeah.
Ugly monkey pictures and celebrities trying to sell it, and then it turns out that it was all just a huge big scam, and people didn't know,
Right.
or they did know and they tried to cash
Went
in.
for it anyway, yeah. Because they thought,
Lots of egg on face.
I might be
think.
able to make money from this.
Not might, you could and did if you were
got
at
in
the
it
top
at
of the
the
pyramid.
right time, yeah.
Yeah, no, a huge scam.
But if you got in it a minute too late, that was it.
It was gone. Your
Or
money
you were
was
just on the
gone.
downside of it.
I think the NFT world will still come around at a much more reasonable thing with things like art, like the true use
No,
of
you
art.
know what? I don't even see it. I don't even see it manifesting as art. I see it manifesting in what Meta is trying to do. Virtual life.
Right.
It'll just manifest in virtual life. You'll be spending, if you get into it, you'll be spending most of your disposable income on shit you can use in your virtual life.
Right. The reason why I have nothing to base this on, just sort of an idea in my head, is that with the internet and any piece of art that's on it becomes financially worthless.
Yeah.
once it's on the internet.
Yes.
And that's the interesting thing about the NFT in the art world. So if you have a photograph, there's only 20 of these available. Like you
Yeah.
like you have
You're
you
trying
like
to
this
reestablish the idea
scarcity.
of value.
Yeah. Yeah.
Value through scarcity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's an interesting concept. It makes art valuable again, potentially.
Yeah.
But then you just get ugly monkey pictures that are worth millions of dollars for 15 minutes. Really? Like,
Yeah.
but it's an interesting idea. Like a photographer taking pictures and has a beautiful photograph. He can't put it on the internet, even with watermarks.
Right.
Because it just gets, now it's gone.
Yeah.
And if you get a kind-hearted person or an ethical person or whatever you want to use the language, who is willing to give you $300 for a print of it, well,
Right.
then you've lucked out.
Yeah.
But then you get dudes like me that just right-click and save as,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
I think it might make its way there, but like photographs that are $20, and it's things could go up in price, like art does if the artist is famous or whatever influences the price of art.
Yeah.
Because everything is digital and will continue to be digital until Armageddon and everybody's internet's off for 3 hours and we won't know what to do.
Mm-hmm.
But
The thing is, artists can still make money from their art if they find the right market, because corporations, commercial corporations, are still willing to pay for art.
absolutely, there always is people
Who will pay?
who will pay, but the value of that thing that they bought,
Yeah.
because art used to be an investment, it is no longer. A corporation is willing to buy a piece of art,
Yeah.
and if it's an original piece,
Mhm.
then yes.
Yes.
But in a digital world,
There are few original pieces to be had.
right?
Yeah.
Like digital art itself
Mhm.
is just duplicated. Save it.
Right.
Send it to somebody. Like,
But it
it's-
also depends on the quality that's being released onto the internet too. Like if you are a photographer, you're a moron if you're putting the highest original raw resolution of your photo
Absolutely.
online.
Absolutely.
Because now you're just inviting anyone
Yeah,
with
but-
any kind of a commercial grade printer to print a full resolution.
But welcome back to the
poster-sized
conversation that we
image.
started with.
Right.
That with AI,
Yeah.
you don't need a full resolution picture for AI to fill in all those gaps.
Adam, I love how you bring our conversations full circle. No, because you're absolutely right.
Right.
That is
Right.
the
And that's why I think the
that
art NFT is
what
possible.
people are probably why the art community is so afraid of
Fuck
AI.
yeah, it is.
Because now they're going to make their art. AI has the potential to make their lesser resolution, lower quality art look better than it did
When
in the beginning,
yes, absolutely.
and then someone else will take credit for it.
Make it an NFT and make millions.
Right.
Or whatever it is.
Right.
Yeah. Or just sell it for $1.
I kind of look at the state of art today the same way I look at the state of all content today. And the best analogy, I think, for it is the preponderance of viewable content on cable, satellite, internet, streaming. There's just so much to choose from. The point is, there are a lot more creators now being able to put their stuff out there to be watched. And the
Okay.
same is true on the internet.
Well,
You know,
yeah.
there was one time that if you were a collector of great photography, you had to go to the places that had it physically. You had to go to a gallery
Right.
and seek out
Yeah.
the art you liked.
You had to
and
write
if you
and
didn't
fill out
live in
as
the
a
same
letter.
city
Yeah.
as an artist who produces content you might actually really love, you would never even find out it existed. unless somebody bought it there, brought it back here.
Yeah,
and
unless you were
discovered it
in
by
the scene
accident.
and had, you were
Yeah.
part of the people that
Now,
talked about it.
You can
Yeah.
just go online and say, show me Canadian
picture.
land. Yeah.
Show me picture of tree.
Show me picture of tree. Show me picture of Canadian tree
Yeah,
in Alberta.
that's red.
That's red.
Oh, there they are.
Wow, look at that.
Yeah.
So there's a lot more to choose from, which doesn't make art appreciation any more fun. In fact, many would argue that it probably dilutes the value of art to a certain degree. But I don't agree with that
I
at all.
totally don't agree with
I love the preponderance of art, and even more so, I love the fact that there are whole sites like DeviantArt.com that specialize in nobodies that produce art that is just
Phenomenal.
what? Yeah. That you would have never found in an art gallery ever. And it's just like, holy shit. Where do I get this person's stuff? The originals of this stuff, because it's just like mind-blowingly good. So, yeah, it's like, being at a 120 item buffet and you're just like, okay, I know I'm not going to get to eat everything here, but holy shit, it's going to be fun while it lasts until I pass out into a food coma.
Food stupor. So, 2022, I set a goal for myself,
Yeah.
and I have talked about it many times on this
Yes.
podcast, to read 50 books.
Yeah. How'd you do?
I did it.
Nice.
Yep. The last book was The Shining, and wow, was it good. That book was so good. If you love the movie, I
Yeah.
highly recommend the book.
Oh, I heard the book is like 10 times better.
I don't know if I would say 10 times better. They're different,
Right.
but the movie is unbelievably good.
Yeah.
But the book was good too.
Yeah.
The book was quite good.
Yeah.
I really liked it. I recommend giving it. It's a really good ghost story. Really good. It's creepy.
Yeah.
The creepiest Stephen King book I've read by far.
I finished The Moat in God's Eye.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
cool.
And I made the mistake of reading reviews on the sequel book.
Oh yeah, right. You're right. Guess I'm not reading that.
Well, and because the problem is that most of the people that read the next book in the series more or less all said the same thing. They waited too long to write the next book.
Oh right.
And instead of revealing mind-blowing, groundbreaking new information about the aliens, they just fast-forwarded a couple decades and then finally gave the aliens the ability to do what we were afraid they were going to do in the first place. And it like spent 2/3 of the book setting that up, and then the climax happens, and then it's over, and you're like, wow, that was kind of
Anticlimactic.
anticlimactic, and nothing new or extra or anything else came
Right.
out of it. So I'm not very motivated to read the next book. I'm ready to let it go
Yeah.
and move on to the next thing.
Man, I want to read one of those books so bad that just blows my skirt up. But it's just, I can't find one.
Okay.
I just want one that's just wow.
Right.
Makes me love science fiction.
Right. Right.
I like it all right, I guess.
Yeah.
But I could not read after this year
Yeah.
and the couple that I've tried, like I could not read a science fiction book again and probably be okay. Because it's just like they're neat and they're cool, but none of them were just like, what the fuck?
Right.
like I'm not moved. The first book that I read in my life was Ender's Game. That book fucking moved me.
Yeah, yeah.
And it made me think that I was going to love science fiction. And every science fiction book that I've read
Since.
probably since, minus the second book in that series, has been just, yeah, all right, like neat, but not like what? Like I'm probably chasing the dragon, that, right? Like I can't catch it. Like I'll never catch it, because the situation was just so. I was that age, and the surprise was so fucking surprising, and it's just everything about it was just perfect for that moment in time in my life that I don't know if I can ever grab it again. But you say that, and then you read a book and you're like, oh, there it is.
Yeah,
right? Like,
yeah.
that's what happens with art. But I'm just... And maybe I'm... And it's not a slight, but like the recommendations that I've read by you have just been lackluster. And maybe it's just we don't jam on the same books. And that's fucking super possible. And I just have to reach elsewhere. And maybe there's just something that you love that I'm just like,
Yeah.
Like when I was reading Rendezvous with Rama, near the beginning, I was like, oh man, maybe Karl can suggest me a book where where we meet aliens and they just fuck us up.
Right.
And we just like, oh, we're nothing. We're just
Right.
meager.
Yeah.
And just a Mars Attacks kind of book, right? Because that's exciting,
Yeah.
right?
There's high stakes.
Yeah, and it's interesting, and it's just, right? Just a lot of them I read, and they're just so, the word is, anticlimactic.
Right.
Right? It's just like
Right.
a hand job that doesn't finish.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
absolutely what they feel like.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that was part of the goal of my year, was
Yeah.
to
Try a
develop...
bunch of different content. And
Yeah,
then see
because
where
I
it
read
goes.
books of all different genres, and
Some were
I
good,
learned
not so
some,
much.
and I've learned some things about myself and what I'm interested in, which, like I sort of talked about, I think maybe the last time or the podcast before, with a book like The Kite Runner, and it's just general fiction that I think I really enjoy.
Yeah.
Which really surprised me.
Yeah.
Because I think, well, that in combination with I don't think I like science fiction was really surprising, because there was a narrative in my head that I was going to like it, or I should like it, or I do like it, and it turns out that maybe I don't, and it was an interesting surprise, which is fucking awesome, really exciting.
Speaking of books, what do you think of how the cover turned out of mine?
I think it's pretty cool, man. I think it's pretty cool.
You know, you are the inspiration for that cover.
Oh.
Because
The
remember when I
medals and
was
stuff?
Remember what? Yeah, when I was
Yeah.
telling you I didn't have any ideas for what
Right.
I wanted on the cover. I just knew I didn't want me on the cover.
Right, of course.
And then I
Right.
started showing you the trinkets that I had collected while I
Yeah.
was in the military,
Yeah,
and you
man.
went, "That would make a good cover."
It would.
Like
It has,
the
yeah.
minute you walked out the door, I was back down here setting that up. in that
Oh, cool,
ottoman.
man. Good.
Yeah. And then I
Whoa,
took a
that's-
photo of it, and then I uploaded it to one of those Artify
Artify this, would you?
sites, and then I saw that, and I was like, "Yep, that's it right there.
Cool, man. Good for you.
That's it right there."
Cool, man. That's great.
And then within minutes of having that image, that's when I came up with the title, because I thought, okay, this book is about my path in the
Yeah.
military, and I used to be a telecommunications technologist.
Mm-hmm.
And I became aware that I was a good person at explaining things, helping my classmates chase a signal path through some microprocessor circuitry. And then I thought, signal path. The
Yeah.
branch I worked for was signals, and this book is about my path through the fucking military. Jesus, it
Yeah.
almost writes itself.
Yeah, you were slapped in the fucking face with that,
Like,
weren't you?
seriously.
Like, oh yeah, well of course that's what the fucking book's called.
Yeah.
Duh.
And I mean, I knew it was going to have the word signal in it. I just couldn't put two and two together. And
No, of course it was.
when I
and
saw
of course
signal
that's
path, I was like, yeah.
like it couldn't
Right.
be anything else.
No, it can't.
That's really nice.
Yeah.
That's very fulfilling and satisfying.
And talk about synchronicity.
Yeah.
Like, just, okay, the book's done. Now what? I need a title. Oh, right. There's one.
The only one it could be.
The only one it could be.
That's perfect.
And come to me no sooner, moments after putting together the cover design, after having discussed it with you.
Cool. That's very exciting.
Which, is just another example of, if you're stuck, just fucking talk to somebody about it.
Oh yeah.
You won't be stuck for long.
No man. They make you stand back
Everybody
and
will
look.
look at your idea and go, whoa, here's what you should fucking do.
Yeah, here's an idea.
Or here's what you could do.
Yeah.
And, then
And
you're
even
like,
if the idea
Jesus,
just
why didn't
offends
I-
you.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're like,
It'll
that's
still
fucking
make you think,
stupid.
well, I'm going to do the exact opposite of that.
And here it is.
Here it is. Yeah, it's fantastic.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Is that your crowning achievement of the year?
Oh,
To wrap up the episode of the
yeah.
podcast, like
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And Justin makes a great Christmas gift
oh well, it ain't gonna make it.
on Amazon.ca.
Like, is it gonna get to wherever it's gotta go?
Well, you'd be surprised. I got that book much sooner than I thought I would. I ordered it and I had it within 4 days.
Oh well.
I could not believe it because I had to print it first.
Okay.
And since they're printing in Canada now, you can get a printed book on demand from Amazon pretty damn fast.
4 days is impressive.
I know. Like, I couldn't believe it. So I guess that's it for episode 23. Look back at 2022.
Year in review.
Year in
Did it for
review.
you. Year
With
in
your
review.
hosts, Karl and Adam, on the podcast named
Talkbots. We should try and get a sponsor.
Yeah.
Does anybody have a product who's listening to this? We'll do it for free. You don't have to pay us. We just want to read copy. We'll even write it, probably. I'll write fucking copy for something you got. Anything. I'll advertise fucking anything. I have no soul.
Heard it here first. Butt plugs will do it.
Oh, in that I was special honored.